Welcome to Agenda Edina, a program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. The City of Edina's draft comprehensive plan has entered a new phase. A 6-month review period has begun for neighboring cities and affected agencies to study and comment on the plan. The comp plan is meant to provide Edina with an outline for future development. The Metropolitan Council requires every city in the 7-county metro area to have such a plan, and state law requires that it be updated every 10 years. Edina's plan includes chapters on land use, transportation, wastewater, water supply, storm sewer management, housing, and parks and recreation. The Planning Commission has led a 2-year effort to update the 2008 comp plan, which included small area plans for 44th and France, 50th and France, 70th and Cahill, Greater Southdale, and Wooddale Valley View. Capping more than 175 public meetings for the effort, the Commission held its own public hearing on the draft in April before voting to recommend it to the City Council.
Thank you to all the boards and commissions for their help in guiding us through this long process, well over 2 years, the number of hours that they've put in and dedication, hundreds and hundreds of hours.
The City Council held a public hearing and approved the draft plan May 7th, starting the 6-month review process for neighboring cities and affected agencies. During that time, staff was also directed to edit the document for consistency and complete an inventory of current housing types in the community. Barring no objections from neighboring cities and agencies, the Planning Commission will hold a public hearing on the final comp plan update in November and the City Council in December. The City Council will appoint residents to a new ad hoc task force developing a comprehensive housing strategy for Edina in June. Members of the task force will gather public input, study other communities and best practices, and review the city's past studies and initiatives, including the 2006 Housing Succession Plan. Affordable Housing Development Manager Stephanie Hawkinson will serve as staff liaison to the task force.
The task force will last for 6 months, and it will be in 2 phases. The first phase will be doing research on what we have currently in the city, what markets are being addressed and what markets may be being left behind. The second phase of the task force will be to come up with some policy suggestions to the City Council and HRA.
Appointed members should expect to meet at least monthly until the task force presents their final strategy to the City Council in December. Those interested in being part of the task force should apply online at edinamn.gov/volunteer. The city will continue bi-weekly recycling collection in 2020. Edina has provided residential curbside collection since 1985. The current contract for bi-weekly citywide residential recycling collection with Republic Services ends December 31st. 3 companies responded to a request for proposals for a new contract. Republic Services offered the most competitive proposal for bi-weekly collection, but another vendor provided the most competitive proposal for weekly collection. The council directed staff to collect feedback from residents on their preferences for recycling frequency. The Morrison Leatherman Company conducted a random, statistically valid survey, finding that by a 51 to 32% majority, residents prefer the current bi-weekly service.
People's preference kind of indicated that they were happy with the program currently. They like that there's less trucks running through the streets every month. If they needed a larger cart, it's available to them. They can ask for a second cart, and there's no additional cost to do that.
At its meeting May 7th, the City Council directed staff to begin negotiating a 7-year contract with Republic Services. For those interested in weekly collection because of their large volume of recycling, the city offers an additional recycling cart at no cost. To get one, call the recycling coordinator, Solveig Wilmot. Thank you for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.